So whenever my mum wanted my dad to do anything, he'd always try and get out of it by saying that he had an imbalance of the inner ear. A war wound, he said, from the Battle of Nanking.
And you feel this is why you make a lot of excuses?
Maybe. But the thing is that the basic excuses, you know, the classics, they don't work anymore. You can't get off work with a note from your mother saying, could my son be excused the board meeting today as he got completely drunk last night? When you're caught in bed with the woman next door, you can't say, Mr. Bennett sent me here.
Yeah, it's like when the BMA discover that you don't actually possess a diploma to practice psychotherapy, you can't say the cat ate it.
No, that sounds great. Really, I'd love to. It's just that, Ethan, have I used the one about me having cystitis recently?
Uh-huh.
What about the one about the tree falling on my car?
Yeah, they said they never heard of Hurricane Allen.
Yeah, it's just that, my grandma's died. No, this time it's my maternal grandma. So soon after the other one, yeah, it is terrible. Thank you. But definitely next time, really. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
You've only used that one like 700 times.
Yeah, well, my grandma is actually one of the undead, doomed to walk the earth for all eternity. Or until I find a better excuse.
Well, who was it anyway?
The Architects Association.
Oh, you're kidding. They approved your design for the 2008 Olympic Stadium?
No, they wanted me to take part in a fun run dressed as the Pompidou Centre. And that news, I'm afraid, has given Grandma Bubbles her 17th fatal heart attack.
David, you know, you are tempting with fate. Back in Slovenia, every St. Nicholas Day, a chosen man had to walk through the village wearing the traditional suit of bread. And when it came to my Uncle Pieter's turn, he tried to get out of it by saying he had a wheat intolerance.
What, and then he, actually developed a wheat intolerance?
Of course not. No, he was kicked to death by the other villagers for refusing to wear the bread suit.
Nah, Grandma Bubbles is fine, ever since the hip replacement. What is it with old people and hips? I go from one day to the next, nothing happens to my hips. You get one day past 65, though, bang, they're magnetically attracted to the bathroom floor. Hello.
Ethan,
Sorry?
can you help me with the Hoover? It sticks.
Domestic chores, that's like the landlord's job, not like the tenant's? 'Cause Dave, he's like Rigsby, but I'm more like Don Warrington, the black guy who was posh, which was funny back then, like the very idea.
Yes, we had Rising Damp in Slovenia, too. Only in translation it was called Coming Up Moist.
I love British humor. My favorite program when I was back in the States on cable was Are You Being Served? Hey, who's this? It's Mr. Rumbold?
David, can you help me with the Hoover?
My grandma's dead.
Oh, yeah, just come over here, grab the bit and pull the thing.
Really? She's dead?
Oh, yeah. Like Chinny Recon, like Chinny, like Jimmy Hill. I scratch my beard.
David, for the Hoover you say this.
Look, she's bloody dead. What do I have to do? Drag a stiff corpse in here and throw it down on the floor so that her hips shatter again?
Let's imagine the positions were reversed. If you were the manageress of this club and I was the member of staff who, when Will Smith came in, said, "Minicab drivers normally wait outside, mate." What would you do?
Well, I think I'd fire you.
Right. Well, here's the good news. I'm going to take your advice on that.
Come
David, hello. Please don't tell me you want to talk to me.
on. I want to talk to you.
Now, you see? There, in a nutshell, is what went wrong with our relationship.
Well, me doing the opposite of what you asked me to do.
Yeah. It's a bit like that time I asked you not to sleep with my sister. Actually, I do want to talk to you. Josh's school are having a parents' evening tomorrow night.
Yeah, the thing is, my grandma's died. And...
Brilliant. I can't believe You're still using that? I remember once you used it as a reason not to have sex.
That was reasonable.
Why?
Because I just had sex with your sister. Hey, look, she is dead.
Oh, Chinny, Racon.
What do I have to do? Carry around the coroner's report?
Is she really?
Yes. Unless it's an elaborate ploy to throw the mafia off her tail because they're moving in a big way into knitting.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Look, I'd like Josh to come with me to the funeral.
Oh, I don't know about that. You know how delicate he is?
Oh, Sean, I promise you won't be exposed to anything upsetting. I'd rather cut my own throat. Actually, on the subject of Josh's delicacy, has he become any less?
Oh, hi, Mum.
Hey, Josh.
Guess what happened at school today?
What?
Mr. Clulo came in wearing a houndstooth jacket and a red knitted tie. I mean, clash.
Right. He hasn't then.
Mum, why do I have to come through the club to get to our flat? I hate doing it.
Yeah, you're right, Josh. It is a terrible design. Maybe we could complain about it directly to the architect.
Well, can't you redesign it, Dad?
Josh, listen. I've got some bad news. Great-grandmother Bubbles has gone to heaven. She's gone to live with God.
Oh, Dad, I didn't mean redesign it right now. You don't have to be around on about great-grandma Bubbles going to live with God.
She's dead! She's bloody dead! Her liver packed up and she was found 2 days later covered in flies!
I don't actually have a cut-throat razor on me. I could get the kitchen to lend you a bread knife.
Maybe Ava was right, you know. Maybe I shouldn't have used the same excuse so often. Maybe fate said enough is enough. And in that sense, I killed her. I killed Grandma Bubbles. Still, life goes on. Not for Bubbles, obviously.
Is there like a will?
Oh, I don't know. She never had much stuff anyway. In fact, the only thing she ever gave me was this.
What is that?
It's a letter opener. I've never really understood the concept because I've never actually received an envelope I couldn't open with my bare hands. But I thought, it's no good. I'll have to get a mini sword.
Hey, Lord Peter. What do you got there? Pistachios? They are so my favorite nut.
Yes, they're terribly Moorish. David, I was wondering if I could possibly...
Pete. My grandma's died.
Oh, for God's sake. I wasn't going to ask you a favor. I merely wondered if, in the course of neighborly relations, you might...
Lord Peter, she really has, like, died? Her liver packed up and she was found covered in, was it flies? Or silverfish? Some kind of bug that digs stiffs anyhow.
Oh, David, my dear fellow, I'm most terribly sorry. I really do feel for you at this difficult time. If there's anything I can do for you, really, anything at all.
What about stopping eating pistachios?
Do you know, that's the one thing I don't think I can do.
What was that British commercial, Everyone's a Fruit and Nut Case? Was that like Frank Muir, who wrote with Dennis Norden? Like, watch out, there's a Humphrey about, and then it cut back and the Humphrey actually had drunk his milk? Scary.
I gotta go. Rachel's bound to be late, and if I am too, there'll be terrible
Hey,
trouble.
Dave, you know your sister's, like, adopted?
Yeah.
Does that mean you could, like, hit on her and it wouldn't be a felony?
Legally, you might be right, but I don't think I would.
Of course you wouldn't. It contravenes every basic moral imperative.
Exactly. And also, she's a bit of an old boiler.
Hey, look, Lord Peter.
My dear fellow, you really don't have to use my title. I have renounced it after all.
Oh, okay.
And anyway, technically I'm not a lord. I'm le Comte de Vicomte de Harrington, a Norman title bestowed on my ancestors by William the Conqueror. In other words, I am a count.
Like a real count?
Yes, an absolute count. Now, what were you saying?
It's the sealed nut. Look, it's like a closed shell. It's like a nut with an unbroken carapace. There's always one in a packet of pistachios.
Yes, one militant virgin who refuses to open her pistachio thighs and offer up her salty meat to my questing town. Well, we'll see about that, you little minx.
Mum, don't cry.
You're right. She's gone to a better place. Remember how the Bible describes the soul leaving the body? A crash of drums, a flash of light. My golden cloak flew out of sight.
Mum, that's from Joseph and his amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat.
Well, is there a difference? Really?
Dad, have you seen these? Peruvian lilies mixed with delphinium.
My grandson seems to know an awful lot about flowers.
Yeah, but he knows about all sorts of things, a whole range of things with all sorts of associations.
You should come and smell it, Dad. It's like the new Calvin Klein ambiguity.
You see, he knows about perfume.
Where's Auntie Rachel? Is she not here because she's adopted?
Josh, you remember when you asked me to explain what the word tactless meant? No, she's just late.
Well, actually, David, to be honest with you, I think she has become a bit uptight recently about being adopted.
Really? How do you mean?
Rachel!
Hello, Dad. Hello, Mum.
But Auntie Rachel, what does it really mean that you're adopted?
Ask your grandma.
Well, Josh, in some ways, children are like washing powder.
How?
Well, some are biological and some are non-biological.
If the immediate family would like to.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
I said, if the immediate family would like to.
No, still can't hear you.
I'm supposed to speak in a hushed voice.
Oh, you go ahead then, boy.
Bubbles is in the adjoining annex if you'd care to pay your last respects.
Dad, I don't want to see anything frightening.
Don't worry, Josh. You won't.
Jack, what are you doing? Trying to drum up extra work?
Is there a problem?
It's an open coffin!
And that is a problem because...
We can see a dead woman.
What did you expect to see, sir?
Some wood! Just some wood!
Mr. Giles? Yes, I have the details here. Mrs. Rose Tulliver, popularly known as Bubbles. Mahogany oak torpedo casket, open to view, full makeover, flies removed.
For God's sake! Can't you see you're upsetting my poor wife? Seeing her mother sunken to a rattled corpse?
Look, it's a mistake. Could you just close the coffin, please?
I'm afraid that won't be possible, sir. You see, Bubbles, as we've come to know her, represents some of our finest work. Mr. Giles here was up all night with his spatula and his blowtorch. In fact, we're thinking of entering her for the Undertaker of the Year Awards. Best presented cadaver.
Undertaker of the Year Awards?
Oh, yes. It's sponsored by our Undertaker Society gossip magazine. Goodbye.
Look, mister, either you go in and put the lid on that coffin, I'll do it for you.
Colin, it's all right. Perhaps in her peaceful face we will see another face. As the scriptures say, oh, dear Lord, these things I pray, to see you more clearly, love you more dearly, follow you more nearly, day by day.
That's from Godspell, isn't it?
Go on, you're a personal trainer. You're supposed to have buns of steel.
Hey, Pete, are you sure this is like how you British open troublesome nuts?
Oh, yes. My great-uncle used to do it as a party trick for Edward and Mrs. Simpson. It was absolutely their most favourite thing, apart from Hitler.
But it's hurting my buttocks.
Yes, but keep going. I think it's working.
Oh, can you see a crack?
Well, smells all right anyway.
Josh, you don't have to look if you don't want to.
I don't know if I do, Dad.
She looks peaceful, doesn't she? In fact, I've never seen her looking so peaceful, so calm.
Yeah, you know why that is?
Why?
Because it isn't her. This isn't my grandma.
Well, obviously it's not literally your grandma.
It isn't Bubbles. Her hair wasn't curly and she didn't have that kind of complexion. She wasn't olive.
Oh, that'll be the blowtorch.
Actually, now you come to mention it, did she always have that mole? The one with hair coming out of it?
Yes, she used to pluck it every Christmas.
But wasn't it on her chin?
No, I don't know. I never really liked to look at it. It was like staring at the sun.
Well, what colour were her eyes?
Oh, they miss out a generation, don't they? So they be the same colour as your... David's.
They were brown.
Go on then, son.
What?
Open her eyes.
Me? What about you?
Oh, well, I would do, but I got an imbalance of the inner ear. I got a bit...
Battle of Nanking, yeah. That was in 1842.
Oh, seems like yesterday to me, boy.
Darling, we have to know.
Right.
Wait a minute. What's this?
Oh, no. You can't use that. This is like Grandma Bubbles' last bequest to Dave.
Yes, but Ethan, don't you see? This is a message from fate, from Yahweh. It's saying to us that, yes, Grandma Bubbles is dead, but here is her gift to us of life.
Life? It's a gift of at best, like a pistachio nut.
Yes, but what is a nut if it is not flesh, covered in wood?
Oh, I see. So Grandma Bubbles in the coffin is like a nut.
Exactly. She is now the shut nut, but something of her, in a moment of renewal and rebirth, will still produce for us now the open nut. Oh, for crying out loud, let's just get a car to run it over.
Well, what are they? Brown? Blue?
They're white.
Oh, that's unusual. Albino, is it? Like that blues guitarist?
No, they've rolled back in her head.
Well, maybe you can sort of like get them to roll back down into view.
She's not a bloody fruit machine. Can't use her nose as a nudge button.
Oh, God, I can't tell my own mother now.
Look, we've been looking at her for too long. We need someone who hasn't been staring at her for the last 10 minutes.
I don't want to see Grandma Bubbles. I don't want to see Grandma Bubbles.
But we've decided it would be therapeutic for you.
No, no. Oh, that's okay. I thought I was going to see Grandma Bubbles.
Jeez, what kind of a nut is this?
Do you think he saw us?
I don't know. I mean, he did turn and look when the tire blew, and his face did look kind of surprised. But that may have been because he was about to hit the lamppost. And then I couldn't see what his expression was because his head had fallen onto the steering wheel, and he was doing that thing of going, God, Pete, what are we gonna do?
I've got a can crusher in my flat.
Let's go.
We've just been looking at something curly hair.
Bubbles, she looked more like Gloria Estefan.
Please.
Completely unlikely earrings and that dress.
Please, everybody. What you unfortunately haven't realized is that death, that great leveler, performs its own makeover. The flesh of the face, yes, it darkens, and the hair does sometimes go a little bit frizzy, as if death had given the deceased a light perm.
You must understand our concern. This is my mother we're talking about.
Yes, I do understand. It's a very sensitive issue, but you should consider yourselves lucky. When we first saw her, her skull had collapsed, her eyes were sunken, and her skin... Ugh. Have you ever reached the abattoir level of Resident Evil 2?
Dad, of course you must wear the bread suit. Well, remember what happened to Uncle Pietra? Well, no, of course I haven't forgotten about your sensitive skin. Well, just tell him to spread the inside with "I can't believe it's not butter." Okay? Okay, I have to go clean now. Okay, bye.
Eva, we're here, and Mr. Morris will see you.
They can do like plastic jaws now? Complete facial reconstruction.
I'm afraid Mr. Morris is unavailable. He's been taken to hospital.
Really? Nothing serious, I hope.
Car crash. He was driving along and his tyre blew out suddenly for no reason. He said something about seeing two men leaving a tiny object in the road and then running away.
Anyway, Ava, it'll probably be fine with some oil of cloves and some Bonjela. Anyway, off we go then.
She does it rather bad. I'll tell you what, I'll go and see if one of the other dentists is free. Wait here.
Well, it does look quite like her. It's definitely her chin. And the hands look right.
I don't trust these undertakers. They're like dodgy car dealers. Could be two bodies welded together.
The cut and shut job, you mean?
Oh, look. She's a bit bald there.
There might be frostbite. from that time she tried to smuggle a frozen chicken out of Safeways under her hat.
I can't believe we can't tell if it's her. I mean, the thing that really binds families together instinctively is the fact that they look like you. I mean, you feel in their physical similarity that great genetic force of blood, real blood, DNA, boy, ties that bind and give you profound mistrust of outsiders. Present company accepted, of course.
Well, look, there's got to be some way of telling if it's her. I mean, when someone dies, what's an absolutely foolproof method of identifying them?
I know.
Oh.
Hello, I'm calling on behalf of a late patient of Mr. Morris.
Hello? David?
What are you doing there?
Well, he was the nut, you see, David, the nut. The nut became
Okay,
very...
forget it. Look, you know my gran used to go to Mr. Morris?
Well, yes. I suppose her dental records must be here somewhere.
Yeah, they've got them. Dad, could you just open her mouth for me?
Oh, I've got this in balance.
Do it.
Right. Left lower jaw, 2 fillings, gum recession on molar B.
Yeah, Pete, does it say nothing at all about the entire set being removable? No. Okay, yeah, thank you very much. Hold these, would you? Where's my grandma?
Some old slapper's body!
Oh, you put bubbles in a bin bag somewhere!
Piss off. Come on, I'll take on the lot of you. Piss off.
Hold yourself, put him in the jail directly! Leave him in my house!
What? Pete? Yeah, what?
Just a few more things, David. Did your grandmother ever, in the last years of her life, put in a request to Mr. Morris to give her teeth like Goldie?
No, she wasn't born in 1982. No.
So, Peter and Ethan had got your grandmother's dental record cards mixed up.
Yeah, with a teenager called Bevis. Apparently, when they were trying to crush the nut, all the cards in the filing cabinet got shaken up.
But was the funeral experience still cathartic? I mean, do you feel you've done what your grandmother would have wanted?
Oh, I don't know. I never understand that anyway. When my Uncle Stan died, my Auntie June used to go to his grave every day and put flowers on it. She said it's what he would have wanted. If he was still alive, I presume. But what he would have wanted, if he was still alive, was to be dug up.
Right. Anyway, David, time's up. Now, I did send you my bill for the last 4 sessions.
Yes. Thing is, you sent it to me in an envelope, and I don't actually have a letter opener anymore. And sent in very heavy envelope paper. I can't actually open it with my bare hands. Also, there's been a hurricane in my part of London recently. I don't know if you heard Hurricane Alan. It blew my bank over. I've had a touch of cystitis recently. Made writing very painful, especially checks. And also, my grandma's died.